I bring you warm greetings and regards from President William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, who was invited here by the Honorable Alice Wahome to come and officially open this very important conference. But due to exigencies of duty, he tasked me to come on his behalf and open the conference, and gave me a speech which I'll read without adding or subtracting even a comma. We hold this conference and exhibition today, 7 years to the deadline of Agenda 2030 of the Sustainable Development Goals. Under this agenda, we committed to deliver on Goal 6 on access to safe and clean water. We also gather here to discuss integration of technology in increasing access to safe water for domestic and commercial use. The convening takes place a few months after one of the longest droughts in 40 years in Kenya's history, and indeed in the history of the Horn of Africa. Among other negative effects, the drought diminished water levels at source, drying of vegetation, leading to human suffering and death of domestic and wild animals. Short-term measures like water tracking were highly unpredictable, unreliable, insufficient, and unsustainable. The future of our children was at stake. They could not go to school hungry and thirsty. Thousands of others were malnourished. With the support of our development partners and international friends, we spent tens of billions of Kenya shillings, not for development, but in life-saving measures. Distinguished guests, the drought was not a traditional dry season. It was a manifestation of the climate change. Climate change and its negative effects are no longer a concept. Climate change is a reality. It is with us here. And unless we act and act swiftly, the human existence is under threat and can no longer be guaranteed. Distinguished guests, we must make bold decisions, even if they are unpopular, to save our planet. That is why we have to protect our water catchment areas, especially forests like the Mau Complex and other forests in the Republic. The life of the nation is bigger than pursuit of personal short-time endeavors. Close to 90% of our country is arid and semi-arid. These lands are home to at least 16 million Kenyans, hence the urgent need to increase our forest cover. We are taking measures to restore depleted or destroyed water towers alongside our plan of planting 15 billion trees by the year 2032. Distinguished guests, on the other hand, formal and informal houses built on riparian land and other wetlands will not be spared. While manufacturing is one of the Kenya Kwanza pillars of uplifting our people from poverty to economic prosperity, will ensure effluents do not endanger access to clean and safe water downstream. The Nairobi Rivers Commission has started the work of restoring the rivers of our city and its environs. This will progressively be replicated in major towns across the country based on the lessons learned from the Nairobi Rivers Commission. Meanwhile, distinguished guests, Kenyans must take it upon themselves to support our efforts of protecting water towers and reservoirs. Those at the grassroots are frontline soldiers in conserving these water sources. Last Thursday, the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, presented the maiden Kenya Kwanza administration's budget. It was an important moment in the implementation of our plan. We commit to sustainable development of our nation. Safe and clean water is a denominator in every pillar of the plan. This conference, therefore, is timely in exploring strategies of riding on technology and innovation to spur progress in achievement of SDG 6. Indeed, access to clean and safe water will ensure sustainable health, agriculture, housing, education, safe environment, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, this exhibition have displays deployment of technology from which we will borrow heavily and integrate into the implementation of the plan. Our interaction with other stakeholders at this conference will help identify gaps and relevant tech-based solutions. Distinguished guests, delivering access to safe water is no mean task. Current water connectivity stands at 3 million. We want to double the number in the next 5 years through upscaling investment in infrastructure. In this regard, we are seeking more public-private partnerships for technical and financial support, especially in construction of tens of dams across the country. We invite more investors to our great nation to work with us in this regard. Distinguished guests, to this end, I would like to thank the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, led by Honorable Alice Wahome, the Council of Governors, our host county government of Mombasa, the Water Services Providers Association and partners, exhibitors, among others, for organizing this very important and successful conference. It is now my duty and honor to declare Kenya Water and Sanitation International Conference and Exhibition 2023 officially open. Asante sana. This ministry is extremely important in our country, given the negative effects of the climate change. The very existence of our nation is not guaranteed. Interventions to combat the effects of climate change are no longer a choice. It's a necessity and a must. That is why the Ruto administration has made it a priority to come up with interventions on how to move away from rain-fed agriculture to irrigation. This administration has made deliberate plans to reach out to investors on the public-private partnership model to harness resources from everywhere in the world to come here and sink boreholes, build water ponds, build small dams, and build mega dams for the purposes of making water available to every Kenyan, clean and safe water. At the same time, we want to partner with our friends and investors to open up northern Kenya, those vast lands, by building dams to have irrigation, to produce enough food and achieve our food security and make sure that we don't have, again, to go around with a begging bowl to our friends begging for food. It's very, very demeaning for us in this country.